Welcome, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, how is everybody? And person, I know, and I have another person. I have the amazing Dee with me here again tonight.
Hey, hello.
Yay! Hey, and Dee was so kind to offer to sit with me while I nerd out. Yes, we have peoples. Um, so thanks, everybody. For those who don't know me, I am Meg, also known as Dead Woman Walking. This is I'm really surprised that we've been doing this for a year now. I say we. I've been doing this
Ooh.
podcast now for a year. He's like, I wasn't me. Um, for now, I like having guests on. I love having you guys on because it gives me someone to talk to, and that's always great. But yeah, been a long time gamer, long time survival game player. Um, Played a lot of Conan, Ark, some Ark. I didn't get super far into Ark. Um, Minecraft, because everybody plays Minecraft at some point. Thank you for the sub, anonymous person. Thank you. Um, but yeah, it has been a year. Well, we did 2 episodes with Andre back the year before that, and I don't know what happened to Andre. He just kind of disappeared. And then Mojo and I kicked around doing the podcast. And so we waited a little bit to see if he was going to come back, and then he didn't. So in that January of last year, we decided just to do it. And so we did some episodes together, and then Bean did some episodes, and Kason has done some episodes, and Dee's done some episodes, and so we've had some people on. It's been pretty great. So yeah, I've been gaming a while. Um, Dee, did you want to tell us a little bit about you and your gaming experience?
Hi, I'm Dee. I'm from Texas, very far from very far from Meg. Uh, I've been gaming since I was a wee baby, which was many long years ago. I tend to mostly play RPGs. Um, this one's not quite an RPG, but close enough. Survival games are kind of a new genre for me, but I'm having a good time with them. Um, I'm one of those accursed PvE Care Bears that no one wants in this game, but I'm here anyway. Been here since a long time ago, more than a year,
Yep.
and you just can't get rid of me, so here I am.
There's something about Dune that there's just something really that kind of gets you, especially early game. Really kind of
Mhm.
grabs you and really kind of there's something addictive about it. I don't know how else to put it. And you just got to have more. And then here we are. All this time later,
Mhm. I'm
time
here to
flies.
tell you, I almost broke NDA so many times during the beta because I wanted to tell everybody about the game and I could not.
It was really really hard. We had to Mojo and I and a couple other people who were in the NDA Discord had made comments a couple of times about how we had to keep up the facade in the official Discord
Mhm.
because people would make comments if you just suddenly stopped commenting, like, oh, that person's in the beta, and that's why they disappeared. So we had to
Yeah.
kind of keep this kind of dual thing going. So to kind of hide, we just spent 900 hours
Yep.
in the beta and still going, oh, that's some interesting speculation. I don't know if that's the direction they're going to go. That's
Or people posting theories and you're like, "Wow, I hope they do that too. That sounds really good." Knowing that you've been playing that exact thing for like 2 months at that point.
or trying to play, as the case may be, depending on what part of the beta you were in,
Mhm.
because sometimes it was problematic at times. Um,
Back
but
when they were
no,
like, "Wow, I can't wait to fly my first thopter," while you have lost like 8 thopters trying to get into the deep desert, and you're like,
trying
"I'd
to get
like to fly
out,
one too.
trying to
Actually,
get
I'd
out.
like to fly one, but I can't right now."
I know, and I remember at one point I ended up under the mesh right there at the arrow, and like that's where all the thopters are.
Ad break.
That's they. There was a big old pile of them underneath the mesh there.
Hmm.
Time flies, and then you're having fun, and yeah. So that's where we've been. Well, hello, Bob. How are you? Again, welcome everybody. We're kind of stalling because there's an ad, and then we'll kind of get into the official bits. And I keep saying something on my tooth, and then it's not there, and I'm like, I'm hallucinating. I'm not hallucinating. I'm just paranoid. If they really are allowed to get me, that's
Who?
um,
They.
yeah, I know. As a reminder, when I have the PowerPoint up, I cannot see what's on Twitch. So if something great is going on or whatever, say so because I can't see. And if something is fun happening, it's not that I'm ignoring it; it's just I don't see it.
I'm
And
watching it. I'm multi-track drifting over here. I'm watching both, so we got it.
okay, because it's the to show the PowerPoint, I have to go into the presentation mode, which takes up the whole screen. And so there we are.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, hello everybody. It's just so excited to have people. We have people from on YouTube and Twitch both. This is exciting. This is good. We like this. We like this a lot. And what it's driving me bonkers. I can see it. It isn't there. That's because
Lipstick, I think.
is it lipstick? I don't know. This stuff is usually really good. Once it's on and it's dry, it takes like it takes like old school like cold cream to
Hmm.
get off. I mean, it's washing is no, it is water it's not even water resistant, it's fucking waterproof. It's not coming off.
Hmm.
And so I'm like, what is it? Yeah, okay. Um so we've done our introductions. As a reminder, kind of all the admin stuff. I know slowly go crazy. Um for those of you who don't know us and aren't already hanging out with us, you can find this on Discord. Exclamation point, Discord will take you to our Discord. No obligation or anything. We just like to hang out and chat and be nerdy. This week, I think the discussions have been around Dragon Ball Z. Uh, we've often got some. We got Stargate. We got Warhammer going on, and then there's some new survival games to, that we've been kicking around to play. That was actually a lot of fun. That was just the pirate one.
Been talking
Um,
about the friend slap genre. It's like that's my favorite term that has come out recently is friend slap. Those games that are like indie games meant to be played with like four of your friends, like Pete, Lethal Company, that sort of thing. Repo.
yeah, there was one
I
we
love
were
it.
going to try that was supposed to be a survivally horror game that also had twerking in the promo. So I was like, what the hell? But we couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to run on my end. So we ended up playing the pirate
Okay.
game, which was a lot of fun.
Mm.
Um, we are very special. Kason is reminding me merch. I have a merch shop exclamation point merch to get merch. He bought some stickers a while ago. God, it's been 6 months that he bought those stickers and put them on his dirt bike, and they have been sticking on. I did by request create. It's not a mug, but you know the in the game they've got that chum flask. Um, that you can put down as a placeable. I've got something
Mhm.
that looks very similar to that up on my merch thing. So my son designed all that stuff.
I was just gonna promote your son if you did not do it, because a lot of your graphic design done by your wonderful son.
Hmm. He did most of it, like my profile picture for the Discord. He did it from Conan. I asked him if he was going to do one for me for Dune, and he was like, "No,
Oh, okay.
no." It's
What do you say to
he's
that?
yeah he's like, "No, you got what you got. Deal with it," which I respect.
Hmm.
It's not like I'm paying him. Um, then for people who don't have the game but are interested in the game, exclamation point Dune will show you a link. You can buy the game through me. Um, Same cost, the same. It's all great. Or you can come back another time. I will have keys to give away, but not today. I think that was all the promotional stuff that I was going to go over this time. So all the admin stuff's out of the way. I guess that means it's time for us to move to the PowerPoint.
Woo!
Woo,
Button
everybody.
time.
I know. If we lost the PowerPoint, I don't know what we would do. I do not know what we would do.
Wing it.
I know.
Fuck
It,
it. Live.
it would be very, very sad if we didn't have the PowerPoint. And I'm like, I keep joking with myself. I'm like, what if I did a Prezi? Do you remember when those were real popular? And then I'm like, no, it's not. That's I'm going to look at a screen. Nope, that's the wrong.
I mean I have improv experience thanks to my years in theatre. So I could do a one man show for a hot minute if we don't have the PowerPoint. Thank God.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's
Okay, I'm
it's being
saved.
possessed. It's being. I don't know why it's doing this. It's share a screen. That's what I want. I did in university. I did 3 years of speech forensics, so I can, and I have a master's degree in literature. I can BS with the best of them.
Mhm.
So we can wing it. All right. Yeah, we are on season 2, episode 2. I believe that's episode 27, if we're keeping track. Not that I'm keeping track. I'm totally keeping track. Um, Time flies when we're having fun. Yeah, we're all good. We're all good here. The community challenge. Now, I grabbed this picture of. We didn't have an episode last week because I was out with a migraine. So this finished last weekend, and we got all the stuff. We got the sniper rifle variant is already in the game. The Sentinel kit, both pieces are already in the game. Kind of fun to play with. I do like the sniper rifle variant.
Mhm.
And then they did a stretch goal. That one I believe is coming. They said with the next patch.
I
Excuse
think
me,
so.
but we got it all because people got in there and just ran the crap out of these testing stations.
They had yeah, they challenged us to hit 500K, which we were just short of, but I still think that the number is crazy.
That is a lot of testing stations. I was really kind of surprised at Oceania because I thought that they were the smallest group. And I thought Asia would do more because I thought they were a bigger group.
I've been
And
routinely surprised at the numbers in this game because they don't really match up with the demographics you see in other online games. Usually, like Asia and North America are the two like big mega servers, but for
mhm,
this game, it's like Asia non-existent, and weirdly, Europe is like the biggest player base.
I know it, it is a bit odd. And I think survival games tend to attract a slightly older crowd
Hmm.
demographically, like closer to my age. Maybe it's because we aren't, we have less time than we did when we were 20, and like carpal tunnel
Hmm.
from playing faster games when we were 20. Carpal tunnel. Oh. But yeah, I mean, we ran the crap out of those. And I think a lot of people were not just running the level ones. I was running the level ones. I will fully admit to my lameness. But yeah, we people ran the crap out of these things. And the most played testing stations, I'm kind of surprised that Fire was the most played one because I think that one was tough because if you went to the higher level ones, the floor is lava part of the boss room was not nice. The electric one was also hard because it wasn't even the boss room that killed you. It was the spinny room before the boss room that killed you.
Hmm.
That was just wrong. I can.
They, in fact, show that killing someone in the trailer for Chapter 3.
It's just wrong.
Yeah.
I can solo the radiation one and I can solo the darkness one, both on level one because I'm a weak player. My next one to try is going to be poison. I've done darkness over and over and over, but I'm impressed that people are doing fire over and over. I think it's because they want the pyro rocket. I think that's
Probably.
probably I
Yeah.
think that's what they want. And where was it that dropped the new shield thingy that people want? There's a Elohim something. I forget. It does not drop in the darkness one. The problem with the electric is if you have any latency at all, the room itself will kill you before you get to the boss room. I was running with Mila last weekend. I forget which
Hmm.
testing station. My ping hit 400.
Yikes.
I think it was the electric one too. And all Mila heard was me going, ah! And yeah, my keyboard's doing all kinds of wild and crazy things, and I'm bouncing all over the place, and it was not good. So, yeah, the electric one is just not. There is no room for any latency whatsoever if you have hesitation in your game. It's not even something you can fix.
Hmm.
Yeah, I found they all have a story too. I don't know if people are listening because they're trying to beat their times, um, but they all have story because that's what I'm about. I'm about story.
Same.
I'm all about story.
I was refreshing myself on some story stuff that we're going to discuss later in the stream. And just for ease, I went and looked at someone's YouTube videos about that. And I'm not going to name names because I'm not trying to be mean. But they were going through a story section and they would click on the little recording tapes, like voice recordings, and then they
Mhm.
would just keep running and you would get like the audio recording and the characters talking all on top of each other at
Mm.
the same time, and I'm like, would you like to stop and listen to the story maybe, folks? Or dial it back? Good lord.
Yeah, some
It is what it
people
is.
it just don't do the story, and I want to say that's okay, but it hurts me. It hurts me
Yeah.
because they're all connected to each other. So
Mhm.
and of course this one was interesting to me because we know that for 3 and 4 people it's actually harder than 1 or 2 people, which is a balance thing that they definitely need to fix because at one point we were running three and we had I know Paolo had a disconnect. He died to disconnect in a boss room, and then um, I think Mila had it. I was shocked that I did not have a disconnect or a ping out because it was rough. But I actually, well, you know, we were running level ones just to kind of get a vibe for it, and solo was much easier than with three. I mean, it should be some kind of parity that they and it's yeah
You
it back.
made I was just gonna say you made it sound like with two people it was manageable, but the microsecond that you added a third person, the difficulty just like spiked tremendously.
It kind of does. I mean, again, you know our group. We are not
Mhm.
combat machines, but you even keeping the same level at level one, adding people starts adding more NPCs, and especially when they're melee NPCs or before, like in the test bed when they had the drill shots of
Oh
Dune,
Lord.
they were awful. Um, it was not good. So my understanding, this is a complaint, and a lot of people are saying there needs to be some balance. So like this one, they can farm level 16 with three, fine, but you add a fourth person and it's just not on, and so that's a problem. Amp up the difficulty. Mila, no, no, just no. Oops, sorry. I will check it in a minute. I can't see the screen, so I will. You say that. Um, we. I will hold you to that one, Kason. I will hold you to that one. It's they've got to find the magic between the number of PCs and the output of damage that they can do versus the team that we've got, and that's a lot. It's a lot to balance.
Hmm.
I know they need to fix poor Paolo. It's very frustrated. Um, Also, the wiki. They are doing a promotion. They're looking for people to help them get the wiki up and running, and kind of because I think it's because Mojo was out sick a bit, and so the wiki kind of didn't get the TLC it needed. Now we've got another chapter update, so they're looking for people to come and help them add content to the wiki. They've got a mission system. You do 7 missions, you get the 3D's battle rifle skin, the one that they gave out back at the beginning for the prize for the building contest.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, so if you want the battle rifle skin and you are willing to edit something or do screenshots, or I have no idea, they've got Brad keeps messaging me going, "Oh my god, we've got like all these people." And I'm like, "Y'all asked for it." So
Hmm.
this is how you get stuff done. So they are the unofficial wiki, and would greatly appreciate some help. And they'll give you a nice battle rifle skin. So there you go. Um, so some people were asking about the return package. If you had not played for the last 28 days, and which implies that your stuff would be gone, right? Your base would be gone, etc., etc. Um, Somebody did a little video of, I think they were tier, I think they were around level 160 or so. So the tier 5 package. So this is a little video of the things that they got whenever they did, and then they came back and it offered them their return package. So they got quite a bit of stuff. It's not a massive amount, but it'd be enough to get you started if you didn't step away with some gear. It's got some T6 in there, little this, little that. You can build a nice little house and get started again without completely restarting. And I'm looking at that going, we have tons of more stuff, but we've also been playing since the get go.
Hmm. It's not a groundbreaking amount of stuff. Like
No,
I'm just the what you paused on right there, the like still suit tubing. That's like 30 minutes of work over there. You know, none of this is anything that's horribly like I know people were really upset and worried that the welcome back package would have just like tons of stuff
yeah,
that would, like give people an advantage over people that have been playing actively the whole time. And it's like, no, not really.
no, not really. Looking at our stuff, even right before chapter 3 dropped, one of the things that we were doing was I was trying to run as much Landrad stuff as I could to um, get as much tier 6 stuff as we could. So I'm looking at 200 things of still suit tubing, and I'm like, I'm not going to show you what's in our box. Excuse me. Or, oh God, that reminds me, we've got to figure out what we're going to do with all this copper. Do you remember the copper thing?
Yes. Y'all, we have
So
like 50,000 copper ingots when we were trying to do some like Landsrad stuff.
we
And
have 2 full plast boxes full of copper ingot,
yeah,
and we need to get rid of those. And I think we're just going to end up dumping them out back because there's no
yeah.
way. The only reason we have them is at one point the Landsroad was offering they were copper ingots, and so we went and Paolo and I and a couple of others ran around and spent like 4 days gathering all these ingots, so like 5 of us could turn in the for the Landsrod. But I think a couple people couldn't show up and do that, so we just held on to them. And then every time a bike turn in who's come in since then. I'm like, oh, we have copper. I'll just run some dice. But we still have a redonkulous amount of copper. And I'm like,
Hmm.
we do not need that now because the system has changed. There's no way we need 2 boxes full of copper ingots to make
Yeah.
bikes. Because
Yeah.
even if you're taking a bike to Smuggler's Run, you're not going to take a copper one. You're going to take, a T5. You're just not going to take a copper bike. But
It's just a fact with our guild, and I'm not saying this as a call out post, but God help him, Paolo, you have the most insane energy and enthusiasm of any person that I've ever met in my life. And if we ever say, we kind of need such and such, you will leave for like 2 hours and come back, and he will have strip mined the entire basin for that thing for you.
yes, we went from very
This is
little class
it's
to
a
like 14,000 in,
Yeah,
that's,
this is a positive. It's not a complaint. I promise it's not a complaint. It is just so funny that you could even just it's like when you tell your dad like I like chocolate cake, and then for the next 6 years of your life your dad will buy you 45 chocolate cakes every time any occasion happens. It's that. It's
it's all
that,
those
but
energy drinks.
yeah. God, I did tell him to try a Monster Energy drink. I can't even imagine.
So,
Paolo, are you flying off the walls and like climbing the ceilings?
yeah, we have to be careful that we don't want him to burn out. No burnout.
Mm.
No burnout allowed. One of the other things that I was wanting to kind of cover is concept art.
Ugh.
And I
That's
try
what
to
I look
find these
like.
things, and I've shown some concept art before, but this one was from Felipe Augusto, who is a senior concept artist. Now, keeping in mind that concept art does not always end up in the game at all, much less in the format that they've done the art in. And a lot of this was done when we were in beta, or probably early beta. If you were in early beta, you might recognize some of these, and you can kind of get an idea of who this guy is if you've done the Swordmaster training. You've seen these guys.
Can I just say, I really admire the fact that this guy is like literally skin and bones, like falling apart, made out of like strings and toothpicks or something. But whatever they made his tidy whities out of is just like pristine, no tears, no rips.
You got to keep it PG, unlike the radio. Oh my lord, we'll talk about the radio in a little bit, but yeah, he's definitely wearing his tidy whities.
Mm-hmm. I'm noticing all the right details, obviously, you guys.
Obviously, priorities. um, some more that he did. I like the cape and no cape.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the armless guy, kind of square in the middle. Check out his belt.
I was just looking at the little coins all over the belt.
That's very scavenger fremony,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love if we could see. I hope at some point some of these concepts end up in the game, because I am loving that. And it looks so practical too. I mean, you can see like the backs of the legs are open so he could move. And
I like that the leg plates also do kind of look like worm plates.
yeah, I mean, they're just the whole thing just
Very
fits so
good.
good, and the cape looks good. You have to be careful with capes. This one fits, it looks great. And yeah, concept art. Mm.
Speaking
Some,
of worms.
yeah, some different worm concepts that were kicked around. I don't think any of these made it in, but
Can I just say, I love the little dot that's like man for scale.
yeah, you can see that little black kind of thing there, kind of in the middle of the worm. That's a person. It's to kind of give us an idea of, well, if you've ever, I mean, in game we're obviously a little bit bigger because if you've ever gotten that where they come up to the, and breach right next to you, you know,
Hmm.
It's definitely I like the different looks, but this particular one looks a bit phallic, so maybe they kind of opted to not follow that line so much.
Also, I can't figure out how to highlight messages, but for the cosplayer thing, that's why I really like that a lot of media are doing like turnarounds and things like that.
Oh yeah.
Um, I I'm a big Critical Role fan, and recently they've put out an art book that's specifically an armory book that has like turnarounds of all the characters and stuff. Exactly because they know so many people cosplay it. So I like that.
As a quick aside, to highlight stuff, all you got to do is run your mouse over it, and it'll say "show ride."
Yeah, that is not happening for me. So
Oops, sorry. It should. Mm, it's gonna be one of those. Okay. Now I've shown. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I'm not going to mangle it. But I've shown Ingrid's work before, and I found this one for the cactus testing station. She did a lot of the concept art for a lot of the deep desert testing stations, as well as for the last testing station for the DLC, The Lost Harvest. And the more I see these testing stations, I'm like, I really want this stuff. And I love that those cactus are blooming.
mm.
That's a nice touch. That's
It's
absolutely.
the flowers that you can harvest in the oud.
Yeah, the Soguero.
Hmm.
His jaw looks a little weird. He looks a little angry. Maybe it's because his suit is so tight, his arms are yanked out.
Hmm.
He's like,
He looks like that kid from the Christmas Story in the snowsuit.
well, it's like he's got a wedgie. Or he's like, this is very snug. Is that where
Hmm.
Zentera comes on and says, make sure you get the catheter right?
Oh boy, yeah. Unironically, kind of looks like my character in game, actually.
Yeah, he doesn't look very happy.
No.
He's looking a little bit cranky, cranky. Some more concept art.
Remember when we were going to get backpacks?
Yeah. Do you remember? I don't remember when you came into the beta. Do you remember when the heavies used to drop the shield like the Mentat has?
I don't remember that.
That was
I
early on. This is before NPCs really had shields, and the heavy would drop the um, the Mentat shield, the one that's the big and just. Oh. But they were
I
kind of stupid because if you threw a grenade behind them, they would turn, and
mm,
then you could shoot them in the back.
I just had yeah, I was around for the Frem Kit discourse where people wanted the Frem Kit from the beginning, and you can't.
Yeah, you can't. But foxes. I love that. And now Joel did say that they had plans to add more animals later. So we can hope that we'll see more land critters like foxes and that sort of thing because we know that they were on Arrakis. I mean,
Mm.
Herbert spent a lot of time talking about the wildlife.
The shrew fox on the bottom right is kind of throwing me for a loop, though. The one with the trunk nose like a shrew.
Yeah, they're all very cute though.
Mm.
I would totally take anyone. They could all be in my base. I would totally welcome that. They're very adorable. Bullet! No!
It's true though. If they add more wildlife, they're going to add more recipes. You know it.
Yes, I know.
What
Because
the fuck? What the I'm sorry, that was a visceral reaction. Oh my god, there's an ad break right on time, so I can just stare at this.
Oh, saved by the bell, huh? Which, I mean, it makes sense that, they're going to have big ears to help them ventilate.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going to run hot. And, but
No, it makes sense. It was just I'm sorry for that guttural what the fuck is that reaction?
this very visceral reaction to the poor bun. What did that bun ever do to you?
I'm a big fan. I got so distracted by his whack ass ears that I am only just noticing his like sweet old man mustache and beard.
He's supposed to be stroking his beard and looking at you thoughtfully.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Watership down. Oh, don't traumatize us. And of course, we all are very familiar with the Harkonnen pieces.
We're almost done with that.
Would it be any better to have the rabbit or the space donkey
All right, we're back.
for the second spice dream? Okay, we're back.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
space.
for realism, we need to see the concept art where this cape is like shooting through the torso out the front of the body.
You were there in beta for the capes that were very happy to
Oh
see
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That just looks heavy, though. I mean, that
Hmm.
looks like you're gonna be, you know, there's a heft to the size of it, to the weight of it. You know that you would lumber when you walk. There's a
I'm. I have to say it for Kayson's sake. That's what she said. I have to do it.
it does look pretty badass. It does look badass.
He would want me to say that for
He,
him.
he would want you to say that, absolutely. Community roundup. What's going on in the community and things that people have created and shared. This
Hey.
was. Hmm?
Just that's incredible.
This was inspired by Fanforeign Malfique, and this was in the Communinet, and they grabbed it from their Instagram. So I thought that was pretty cool looking.
Nice.
You gotta mainline the spice. Gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a discussion
Oh boy.
in the official Discord where someone was arguing for um, closing more worlds
Hmm.
to essentially force people to, we should all have to play together. And I'm like, okay, they've opened transfers. People can and have been moving to where they want to move. And many worlds are still meh populated because many people still like meh populations. Um, because we like where we are. I know our group, we're overall pretty content with the population. We're not overly crowded. It's not Gankville in the deep desert. Um, you know, I think they will close the smallest of worlds, but I don't think someone was arguing that there should be only 7 worlds in North America, and I'm like, no,
Honestly, if they do that, that's the day I quit.
I would absolutely quit. There is no way between my ping from here to North America. But again, I don't want to be in a queue. I don't want to be fighting for parking space to build anything anywhere. I don't want. I mean, there were times early on that things were very very crowded, and we're seeing how some of the bigger worlds like Harmony and PAX are really struggling with queues for the instances, and I don't want that. I absolutely don't want that. I like our very chill. Our world is pretty quiet.
It's very quiet. I also, I still remember back at lunch when some of the servers were really popular, and if someone built on a spot that you wanted to build in, then like you just fucking pile buggies on top of their base until they get fed up and they leave. I can
Yeah,
only imagine that would be so much worse if they did a huge server merge.
yeah. I think they'll probably my speculating they'll probably close. I know when they did it for Conan, they closed some. I think the ones that hit hardest were Oceania and South America because again, smallest groups. But they left a lot of really low pop servers, like two people playing kind of things. They didn't go crazy with it. Someone's like, "This is to save money." No, it's because people are wanting to play together. They'll close the empty ones, which is valid. But I don't think they're going to close more than the bottom 10%, really, because people have shown that they want to play on the worlds that they're on. We've had the choice. They might close the smallest ones, but someone else was saying they need to just close Oceania altogether and make them log into Asia. And I'm like, if you live in South Australia, you're going to make them log in across a whole freaking continent and an ocean to another continent that primarily does not speak English.
I was gonna say this has been an issue with in World of Warcraft Classic. They have mega servers like that in the like new anniversary servers.
Mhm.
And people are running into a problem where they have like one mega server for Europe, which is terrible because there's like 1 billion languages spoken in Europe, and everybody that's trying to do like a dungeon, there's no party finder in TBC Classic. So you're trying to form a party of people. Maybe not everyone speaks English, so you don't have a language in common. You're trying to talk in French. Your healer is talking in German. Someone else is talking in like Romanian, and it's just like this is a nightmare. Why do they have it all in one server? You know?
It's not great, and I really hope, like I said, I know that they've talked about mergers and that stuff, and I think the bottom 10% will probably be the most at risk. But the fact is that most of us have not moved. The most of us are wanting to stay in those mid worlds, and I see people now who move to Pax and Harmony are going, "Oh my God, it's so crowded. Where to move now?" Because they are miserable where they are. You want some people, which I respect, but I don't want wall to wall. I don't. And we've had people recently talk about coming into our guild. I want to be okay with that, but we got burned so bad in beta. And that fear of someone's going to steal is blind again. And I don't like feeling that way. I don't like feeling that paranoia. You know, I would like to be able to chill and run stuff with people and trust that, hey, we're going to go run this testing station. And Sabina brings up a really good point. There is no good in-game method to find people to play with. You can try like the faction voice chat or the faction text chat, but again, if you force a whole bunch of countries to moosh into one, you're going to have a language problem. And I think what's funny is the person who was complaining about you should condense North America forgets that North America is not just the United States.
Correct.
That's a very American centric view. It's like
Hmm.
there's a couple other countries attached, and they don't all speak English.
Hmm.
You know.
Even worse if they make it the Americas server, including South America, then it becomes even more complicated, you know?
Yeah, there's lots logs. We've been asking for better logging since beta because of the thefts. And they said at one point they gave us better logs. I'm like, did you though? I don't see any better logs. You're showing me that yes, my power went out in my deep desert base. Woo, I don't care. I need to know who took or removed stuff. In our group, I'm not too
But
worried about it, but it'd be nice to be able to have a way to start building some trust.
but also with the logs thing, like the logs would be great so you know who took out what. But if you get someone in your guild that clears out the guild bank, what do you do? Like you can look at the log and say, well, I see that Dingus McBingus pulled out like every single bit of plast and spice that we had. What do you do after that though? They already have it. They've probably already quit. Maybe they've
Yeah,
already transferred. I
yeah.
don't know. Like what I guess you could report it, but you're still out your stuff at that point.
You are out your stuff, and the moderation tools in this game are lacking.
Yep.
This to put it
Yeah, I'm
straightforward.
I'm trying not to be mean, but historically speaking, when you report someone, that does not necessarily mean something will be done to them. So,
And I get it to an extent because they don't want people to essentially do, I guess, swatting and reporting people they don't like to get them banned just because they don't like them. So as a griefing method, and I get that there needs to be some investigation, but it moves so glacially, and in the 3 months it takes them to move glacially, the abuse continues, and that's just messed up. People, not just the verbal abuse that happens over text chat or voice comms, but people in some worlds are building like swastikas and
hmm
or dropping vehicles with one tread missing, blocking the roads and blocking buildings and that sort of thing.
yep.
And you can't. I mean, those things. We have a couple of those left over on our world is from when bases collapsed, and those will be there to the heat death of the universe.
hmm
And there's nothing we can do about it. And to know that someone deliberately put them some places and you can't do anything about it, that sucks. That sucks a lot. And I wish there was a way to deal with that. And I don't have an answer for that.
It's
I'm
like
proud of Zach. Yep.
I've seen occasionally things get dealt with when it comes to trolling bases. Like there was one time when I went to the deep desert and someone had built a base right at the entrance with a giant like pentashield wall that blocked the entire entrance. I don't know
I
if you remember
remember.
that.
I remember that.
I submitted a report, and the next day when I went back to the deep desert, all of the pentashields were like turned off, completely gone. So they at least look at that, I guess. But the reports on poor behaviors, like in the chat, um, seem to
Uh,
take longer, if at all.
if at all, and that's not a good feeling to face that abuse. We just don't. No one should have to face the abuse. So let me stay on my small world. I like it where we are. We're not even small. We're mid. We're mid population now after
Mhm.
it shifted, and I'm comfortable with what we've got.
But if you'll permit me for being salty just for 2 seconds, we also were distinctly told that there was a new, separate, and much better, more equipped moderating team that was going to take over at launch. That was going to be more strict. Mm-hmm. Where?
Before
Where?
before
Where?
launch,
Where they
we
at?
sat down with Joel and a couple of people from Funcom, some creators did, and I specifically asked about moderation. I asked about it again in this most recent sit down too, but I asked about it then uh, because reasons, the reasons. And I was assured that they would be because Conan had a reputation for having weak moderation and
Mm-hmm.
irregular moderation because they used multiple teams across continents, and so there was not a consistently applied policy. And I was like, we need a policy that is firm and consistent application. And we were told that we would have that, and we don't have it.
We were told something along the lines of that they had brought on a specialized moderating team, like almost they had contracted an outside moderating team or something,
Yeah, and
something along those lines, and
yes,
that they would be strictly handling all of the moderation and whatnot.
the way
I,
it was worded was like the Conan team was a bit like the moderation team in the Discord. It's a company that was covering mini games, and so it made them slow to respond to things. And the way it was worded to me was the team for Dune would be just for Dune, and I'm like, I don't know if it happened in the layoff or something, but I'm like, there's two people now that are dealing with the whole. I don't know,
mm,
but
I ain't seen them. Is all I'm saying.
yeah, I'm not keen on it. Um, this picture's killing me though.
Bro, Sam. Okay, listen. Okay. Now I know that Kayson's in the audience, so he can drag me for this. If you think it's bad that I like Xantara, this man right here on the screen is my favorite Dune character. I cannot fucking wait. It's gonna be a trial by fire when the trailer comes out for this fuck ass movie. because I know so many people on social media that have only seen the movies and are not familiar with anything in the books.
Oh lordy.
And I swear to Jesus, as soon as the trailer hits for this movie, there's going to be just a wall of people going, "What the fuck?"
I'm just remembering James McAvoy out in the desert.
Uh-huh. No, I want them to lean into it. I want this freaky deaky ass worm on the screen. I want everyone to be weirded out. I don't want them to shy away from it. I want him to be as nasty as possible. I
If
want people, and you know that this movie is not going to come out until like 2040 or something. So I want people to have been invested in these films and spin-off TV shows for a decade, only to get slapped with this horse shit ass character and be like, "What the fuck is this?"
and to have someone like Del Toro needs to do,
Yes, yes. Get Doug Jones to play this man, please,
and just have Del
please,
Toro do all of the practical effects for it, and just have that freaky vision that he has for stuff.
please. Oh my God, that would be a dream come true for me.
And all the nerds sit back and going, "You guys made fun of us."
I told you, like I told you, man. But then all my friends that I've said like, "Hey, this guy's my favorite. Trust me. You just gotta trust me on this one." They're gonna watch the trailer and their head's gonna rotate around 180 degrees to look at me like, "What
It's like an owl.
the That's him. That's my man, and I'm gonna stick beside him."
My lord. Anyway, this one, I keep coming back to this feeling because people will troll in the official Discord constantly with,
Mm.
and it's like, why it, when Star Wars Outlaws was being promoted, I thought, hey, this looks really great.
Oh boy, yeah.
And it looked like something I could enjoy. And then the game dropped and the price was outrageous. And the gameplay was also what not a lot of people were not expecting. Did I sit in their Discord and trash it? No. I have
Mhm.
limited spoons. It turned out to be a game that wasn't for me. I move on with my life.
Mhm.
And I boggle at people who spend hours of their life every week trash talking something. I'm like, if you hate
Yeah.
it that much, why?
Living
Why?
rent free in their brains all the time, every day.
I know. And go do something that you like.
Also, I still can't highlight it because I don't know, it's fucking up on my end. But Kason saying the Atreides being good guys argument. I need the next, like the upcoming movie, to have this scene where Paul just like straight looks directly into the camera lens and is just like, "Wow, I'm just like Hitler, aren't I?" Like, I need that. It's in the book. I need them to put it in the movie. Maybe someone will get the hint.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about that tonight with
Mhm.
the lore bits. There's, yeah. Um,
I love this one.
our poor tax collector, he's now unemployed. What can you do?
Can they swap him in as the banker and get rid of that weird ass dude with the mustache that's in the
We love the
attorney?
mustache. Would you like to deposit some Solaris?
How many Solaris would you like to deposit?
At least they fixed his voice because for a while his voice was a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah.
But the little bit of you, the little bit of a lisp, would you like to deposit some Solaris? But yeah, our poor banker. Oh, I forget the context for this one, but I thought it looked great. This dash is all powerful. It absolutely is.
Full of secrets.
Yep.
Oh my god. The fucking navigator.
The smile. The smile is what does it.
It's just like a fucking wall.
And we're just so happy.
You know what? If I was zooted on spice all the time, I'd probably be a giant smiley face too. I'm gonna
Someone,
make this my avatar in the Discord server.
I found this on Facebook, and someone was like, "Oh my god, it's AI," and they're like, "No, actually, there. If your Google foo is strong, you can find the guy who makes these. This is an actual picture of what he's done with Lego.
Mhm,
So you two can put this together if you're clever. I no, you two could make the Lego Navigator,
mhm.
and um, it's an actual real thing. It's not AI, which is fucking hilarious. You can indeed do anything with Lego if you're clever or have good instructions. I'm not going to tell you how long I actually spent making that thing. It was awful. Okay. This was from the CommuniNet from Epic Plants. I thought this was a great example of a tax-free base. They've crammed everything into a small fief. I mean, they crammed plants, they crammed decor.
Is that an assault in the top or
I believe that is a carrier.
that's crazy.
They've crammed on it. I'm like, that would make me so nervous. But yeah, no longer necessary. You can actually build now with no taxes, which is a great touch. When taxes went away, Paolo was like, "Would you like me to expand our base in the Sheol? Have you been down there?"
Yeah, I did.
He expanded the base in the Sheol. You can put
Again, if you mentioned of anything to Paolo, like we would like to do such and such, or we would like this, he's gonna do it, and you're gonna leave for 10 minutes and come back, and there's gonna be a McMansion sitting there.
hey, it's got room for the big container. It's got room
Hmm.
for a carrier. It's got room for two mediums. All from
Hmm. And that was done in like a matter of maybe a couple hours from Paolo being like, "Hey, could I take over the shoal base? I have an idea." And I said, "Sure, do that. That would be fine with me, sure." Because all I had down there was like a tiny little box. And y'all went, "Okay." And then I left and came back the next day, and there was like the fucking Sistine Chapel had gone up down there.
I know decorated even. It's just like yeah, I'm intimidated. I'm so intimidated. This is from Daughter of Dune. It was called The Calm Before the Storm. Found it
Mm.
on Reddit. And that was a great shot. This poster, they post a lot of really great screenshots. And I thought this one was really great. Good timing.
I need to do more screen caps. I wish that this game had a photo mode. I know everybody is demanding like more PvP, more combat, more challenge. I'm like, no, I need a photo mode. I need to play Barbie dress up and take
We've
pictures of my guy.
we have been begging for a photo mode. Ansel had to be disabled because people were using it in PvP to cheat.
Yeah.
This is why we can't have nice things. This was from Zakul on Reddit. Apparently, he has a fondness for Rex and was packing up to pause the game for a bit because he was feeling a little bit burned out. And then he was going to go park. He's like, "Here comes another wreck." So he grabbed a good screenshot before he went and parked.
He's lucky that it did not just like land on top of him because that happens very often also.
That happened more early on. That was a real danger of Rex hitting you because you'd be like looking down and you're like, "What's going to explode?" And something would hit you.
Hmm.
I kind of miss those days. I also miss the NPC Thopters we had flying around the Haga Basin. I miss those too.
Hmm.
Those have been gone for a while.
I miss when you could steal them too, but I understand why they took that out.
Yeah. This was from Bojack 313, a very late topic on last day because I was sick last week. But a nice big build. The big heart.
Oh, Star Treachery, but yeah, back in beta, there used to be like NPC thopters that you would see flying around. It was very confusing sometimes because you would think it was another player,
Yeah.
but then they would like go down to land in a base and just kind of disappear.
Or they would
It was
like
just
hit
set
crazy
picking.
altitudes. Usually they were around the rift, or well, at that time it was just called Jebel Lafitte. Just kind of
Hmm.
you'd see there was one that would go into
Like slaver bases usually.
Helios Fort every now and then. But yeah, I don't know why they removed them. Probably performance issues.
Hmm.
I miss seeing that. I like having my quiet world, but I miss that part.
They also, back in the day, there used to be vehicles, like you can go into a base sometime and find an abandoned bike or buggy that you can steal from the NPCs.
Mhm.
And there also used to be thopters that you could steal in some bases. And they took those out because it was allowing people to speed run, basically.
Yeah,
It was almost a challenge every time a new beta phase would start because people would like
run.
they would speed run it and race up to one of the bases that had a thopter you could steal, and they would have a thopter and be flying around within like 45 minutes of making a new character. And the devs took those out, I think, halfway for performance because people would go steal the thopter and park it in their base and then wait for another one to spawn and then go steal that and park it in
Yeah,
their base and then
it's a
go,
reason we have a cap.
yeah. Um, so
Yeah,
they removed them for performance issues and also to make sure that people went through proper progression.
yeah. One in beta they were nice to have because we had done the progression over and over and over and over.
Mm,
And I remember one point there was a restart. I don't know if you ever played with Croniel.
yes.
Very intense young man, and he wanted his spot up on the shield wall because that's where everybody wants their spots. And I, no joke, he had his spot claimed in 10 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm like, how? But he ran up there, grabbed a thopter, and had it staked in 10 minutes from the time the game went live. And we were just like, I don't want to spot that bad. He wanted his spot. He absolutely wanted
I
his spot.
If I remember I don't remember if this is true or not, but I think that it was back before they nerfed the Bene Gesserit sprint, and he would sprint up there without even getting a bike. He would
Yeah.
cross from Haga South into the
You,
gap
you
using the
could
Bene sprint.
you could cross the gap without a vehicle, and Joel was like, nope, nothing will outrun the worm. And so
Hmm.
he nerfed it pretty hard because yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day.
This one was posted by Pablo36 on Reddit. It was titled "A Quiet Room at the End of the Day of Violence."
Yep.
I do. I think if you've been in our main, we have a little a similar spot.
Hmm.
I've seen people set up really industrial looking ones, but I kind of like the quieter one. You know what I was thinking though? We need walls that have like the bookshelves. We need that kind of decor and walls for the Harkonnen sets
Yeah.
because right now there's nothing that you could use as an internal type wall that looks good for the Harkonnen sets.
Well, I mean, this is kind of an ongoing theme, though, that we get all these Atreides cosmetics and like almost none for the Harkonnens. And I thought that that would change with Chapter 3 coming out because the story is kind of leaning more Harkonnen, but
I thought the same thing too. I'm still hopeful. We need
hmm,
more equity in the pieces. Not necessarily a bookshelf, but something else that you can use as an internal wall.
just any wall that has decoration built into it, like the
Yeah,
bookcase.
yeah. Something we need more sets that have internal walls, even if it's just
Mhm,
a drop for Twitch. You know, something
mhm.
something like that would be great.
Also, I agree with Paolo. There's not enough clutter. I could
Yes.
spend eons, like in The Sims, just putting clutter all over the ad break. Um, just putting clutter all over the place to make my house look more lived in, like an actual person lives here. Leave out like papers and cups and books and just shit all over. And you can't really do that in this game
Not right
without it
now.
looking extremely repetitive.
Yeah, not yet. Well, it's like if you play vanilla Conan without any of the DLCs or any of the extra stuff, it's pretty bare. Um, Now, if you have all the DLCs and the some of the stuff in the bazaar, you can definitely spruce it up. I think the strength in Conan is the modding community will has stepped up with the decor pieces, and I know we won't get that, but we need, and we've been asking for. We had early beta. We had some Chom stuff. We had those rugs. We had the Chom coffee tables. We had
Hmm.
wall bookshelves, and over time they took those away. So we know that they are in the game somewhere.
Hmm.
We just want them back. Please give them to us.
Also, something just because McCabe mentioned Fallout 4. One of my favorite things with Fallout 4 was that there was this one modder that was known for making player housing in that, and they were really famous for the clutter that they put in their bases. And that person got hired to work on Starfield because they were so good at clutter. They were like, why don't we pay you to do that and make the world in Starfield look a little bit more lived in? Which I know Starfield is not super popular, but I thought that was cool of them to do.
The first money I made doing content creation, I was doing
Mhm.
just showcase builds. I doing how to builds are really stressful for me. You have to do it over and over and over and over.
Yep.
So I was doing just essentially showcase builds of the stuff that I'd built, and I've shown this in stream where I've dropping clutter and things and like putting stuff on the bottom shelves. And someone asked me, "Why are you putting it on the bottom shelf? No one can see it." I'm like, "You say you don't see, but if it was empty, you would see. Your eyes glaze over a full bookshelf or a full cabinet because you expect it to be there. But if it was blank, you would notice." And one of the first paid things I got for doing content creation, someone reached out to me and asked me to decorate their guild stuff on their Conan server. And he had built this. He was, what is it with guys in Rome? He had built all of these majorly large, like to scale Roman buildings. And he had
Ooh.
built this city that was just massive, FPS like 5 or some shit. And it
Okay.
was on a PvP server. And he's like, no PvP here because the frame rate's going to kill everybody. But it was the first thing that he wanted me to come in and decorate for him. He was like, "There's 2 buildings here. Do what you want." And that was the first money I made. And content was doing decoration. People, there's I don't want to say an art to it, but you can
Hmm.
learn to declutter stuff in a way that it looks lived in. If you're looking at a desk, what would be on the desk? Cups and books and papers and pens and that sort of thing. And we need more. We need more of those little things that would make a space look real.
Hmm.
Okay, back
Sorry,
to
I
you.
can get us sidetracked so many times. I
No,
apologize.
it's fine. I can too. This was from Aliscan. Aliscan Care on the official Discord posted that. I thought it was a very interesting concept. Very open.
Hmm.
This person, I'm not that brave. Um, it was called "Finishing Off That Last Bit of Melange" by Lance Rest Walker on Reddit, and he insisted that that spice refiner did not take any damage.
There must be like 1 pixel that's underneath that cover, and therefore it like
I
counts
would
as
not
being
trust it.
shelter.
I would no. I absolutely would not trust that. But he insisted it was fine. I'm like, and if it wasn't, that would be crazy expensive. I don't like the idea of doing production in deep desert. Anything could happen between now and Monday that I would
Hmm.
go back, and all those materials and all those hours to get those materials would be lost, and that
Right.
would just that would break me. That would
I know
absolutely.
people prefer to do it out there just because building building is like half the costs out in the deep desert or whatever, so it's actually cheaper to build the refinery out there.
But I've already built it once,
Yeah.
and I don't have to worry about losing it
Mm-hmm.
or forgetting, or the servers go down like they did the other day, and 2 hours go by and your shit's outside.
Mm-hmm.
That. My stuff we can survive a storm in Haga Basin. It will not survive in the deep desert. So yeah, that he braver than I am. Braver than I am. Aphrodite on the official Discord posted that with the new emotes, and I do believe that's some new armor skin. That's the envoy, I think, isn't it? That is a big knee pad.
Yeah, what is that armor skin? That looks really good.
Yeah, I think that's the new envoy skins from the Landsrod.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the new
I need to
skins
look more
are
into that.
worth doing if you don't mind. And you can make the levels running level 1 stations. It's not like you have to run higher tier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just do like me. I'm like level 14 now or something. Running easy shit. So you don't have to do hard stuff.
I somehow thought that it was still the same cosmetics and like color swatches from before
Oh
the
no,
revamp. If there's new stuff, hell yeah, we need
absolutely.
to look more into it.
This is Prince Hall by Sir Vice and Mr. Tia. This was on Pimp My Dune.
Very cool.
It looks very cool. I'm just like, how much of that space is wasted? But it looks cool. Absolutely. Aaron Neck on the official Discord. This time as you get those great screenshots when you're flying with your friends. Blocky but safe. This was Hitcher on Pimp My Dune.
I love the helicopter landing spot.
We had someone in our world on that same spot for a long time. They built in Chome. I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was next to that big Atreides thing that we camped for so long.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do believe this was by Phyllis. People have some interesting names. I hope I'm not mangling that, but that's from the concept art.
Very awesome.
It is very awesome. People build some great stuff. This was from Excellent Cal 9536 on Reddit. It was a great picture.
Mm-hmm.
I think I took a similar one today. What is it about? There's just those shots we all have. We all have to take those shots.
Everybody takes that one shot of the moon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. At least once. At least once. This is from Genesis Sand on the official Discord. If you know, you know.
That's my daughter.
This one was Cozy Home by Nick's Here to Talk on Reddit. That was a really great integration with the scenery. I don't know if you can actually get a buggy in and out of that angle. Looks good though.
Yeah, it looks cool. Who cares as long as it looks good?
Hey. Another Deep Desert shot by Marnicle on the official Discord.
Mm.
It was a great shot of the wings.
Yeah.
I'm glad people are learning F11. This was from Moo Cow on the official Discord and from the art thread. And yeah, so it was weird and funny. And because of its weirdness, it does kind of fit in with Dune.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some spice going on. This was The Desert is Unmaking Me by Rangorn on Reddit. That was a nice use of light.
Yeah. You don't often see Harkonnen builds.
They tend to be so dark and they're really hard, and people end up taking all their screenshots at night. I'm like, I can't
Mm-hmm.
see your building. I would love to show them off, but I know on smaller screens they're not going to show.
Yeah.
And So yeah, if you're doing Harkonnen builds, hello Nomad. Um, take your screenshots in the day, please, because otherwise we can't see. That
I'm in danger.
this is ISV Rata on the official Discord. That is a very busy spice blow, and
Pictures taken moment before disaster,
I
though.
know. Well, I'm seeing there's two Thopters by the moon. There's two more. There's on the left. There's a
There,
harvester on the ground, and then there's you. And I'm like,
there's two carriers and two crawlers, and then the two in the back are regular ones.
yeah. So I'm like, are you guys all together? If you are, you're all freaking rich. If you're not all together, there is no way. Even on a medium, anybody shows up, I'm leaving. I don't play with other people. I don't trust other people. Case and we had a bit of an adventure trying to get spice in Haga Basin. We found a blow in the gap, and of course we made sure there was no drum sand there. But we got like 2 hits, and the worm was not having none of it. I'm like, I'm wearing soft step boots. Why? It's like no.
Oh, so yeah, this is exactly why I think it's probably not all the same group. This looks like somebody was compacting, and then another group, another like guild maybe came up.
Yeah, it's very risky for all the reasons, and all you
Hmm.
need is two people in assault to come and mess up your day. And it's nighttime. Surfing is safer.
I've had the reverse happen where I was standing on a medium field, doing the compactor, just like minding my own business, and a pair flew in with a carrier and a crawler to start hoovering up the medium, and I was standing there just like on voice going, "Come on, man!" Like, really?
God, I know. And if you don't get there like first thing after server reboot, you're not getting one.
Yep.
You're not getting it. This one's from Excellent Cow on Reddit. It was called A Beautiful Night. Another great screenshot. And that is our PowerPoint. We
Hell
finished it.
yeah.
Yeah. See, you survived another PowerPoint. I'm so proud of everybody. um, yeah, spice blows are amazing. I was out in the deep desert looking for someone. I couldn't find them. I was starting to get a little worried. I'm like, did I miss them? And then one went off. And I discovered that because the column lasts so long now, if you start compacting, you're in the shade. It's so thick, you're in the shade. But everything, if you're not really watching that worm meter, all your sound is all mucked up. And yeah, they sneak up on you. But hey, you're in the shade. Um, the next part I was going to talk about is lore, but before we dip into that, I wanted to show a couple of videos. Um, Sabina hurt my feelings.
Mean.
Mean, mean, mean. Um, Speaking of things that happened early on, um, I was looking all over for this, and it took me forever to find it. So some of y'all might remember this. This was not out for very long, and then of course they've naturally changed it. But yeah, see if you remember this one.
I have a dream. It starts in the desert. You cling to life. You find others, friends. You wander the dry, dirty streets of civilization. In the ancient halls of the testing stations, you find answers.
Are you sure?
You seek the secrets of the ever-shifting sands. Spice. do all of these things in my dream, sleeper. I am terrified of what happens when you awaken.
That was my
Yeah,
daughter right there.
y'all remember the tank back in the day? uh, I was thinking, I was like, shit, I didn't hallucinate. I was having that moment of, did I remember that? And I went digging and I found it. And it does have the tank. It does have a very different worm. And that was early on. That may be right before I got invited to beta. Even it was a while back that we had that one. So the world has changed. Bullet just dropped me a message, and I need him to respond before I continue because something came up. Um, the other thing that I wanted to show, again, to kind of prepare for the lore bit, is the pre-launch for Chapter 3. And so Bullet just DM'd me a very generous gift. Give me a moment. So now I have to set stuff up. Hold on. This will actually go in good with the lore. He just dropped me a mural code for the new tea room mural. That's the tea room, right? The one that just dropped. And yeah, so if we're going to do that now, I need to set up the bot. So give me one moment to set up the bot to do the thing. And then we can, oh, the other, it's the chai tea. So it's the Memory of Pain, which is the big mural, which is still quite nice. I know, to press all the buttons, you're going to have to give me a minute. I actually kind of remember where this is. So commands, giveaways.
I'll entertain everybody while you're doing that.
Hold on.
What
Edit
aside
this one.
from our poor friend Paolo, how's everyone doing with progression in chapter 3?
Hold on. You're very faint. What?
I said I'm going to entertain them while you're setting that up.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we said this was the Memory of Pain. Me and my super loud keyboard. And
Yeah, I haven't been able to get too many dungeon runs done, so I haven't progressed very far. But I'm really, really looking forward to digging into the specializations and things like that. I don't know if we're going to get more into this when we talk about chapter 3 stuff, but after having looked at it in practice, I'm really excited about how the specializations let you have more playstyles than just one or two.
it's actually encouraging diversification strongly, which I think is great because everybody complaining about this one skill being nerfed. It was like, well, you weren't supposed to rely on one. So, now we are. Okay. So I guess we should do a giveaway. So Smuggler Run is good. So this is the Memory of Pain mural that came with the chai tea. So this would be the one that looks like the Bene Gesserit one, which is a big one. So it's quite nice. It will be. Are we ready to do it? I think we're ready to do it. We got enough. We got people. We should do it. I've done giveaways with fewer. Okay.
Can you build that, by the way? Do you have?
I can. It's in my base. I have them all.
Then
So
I
the
will not.
raffle will be going on for 2 minutes. If you want a drawing, you need to be on Twitch. I apologize. There you go. We got a bunch of people going, yay! I have them all. I did get the survey one. Someone gave me their key. That's the only reason I never got the email. I was very disappointed.
I have been slacking. I have a base built that has been there for months and months and months, and I keep not decorating. There's a couple different areas of my base that are just kind of male living space empty, and I need to decorate them. So
I think Maine, the parts of Maine that I want decorated are for now.
mhm.
So, how are we doing on time? We got another minute. Come on.
You reminded me that I need to decorate my little death still areas like I wanted to. So thanks. I'll do that.
I left mine. Ours is kind of open. There's windows there because otherwise our base is so dark. The smuggler walls are very difficult to break through. They're very picky about where you put. They're very pixel bitchy about where you put stuff. Sorbina is on a roll tonight. Everybody's being mean. We are nice people. My Discord's full of nice people.
We who? Girl, don't include me in that. I'm mean.
If you ask people, I'm the Wicked Witch of the West. It's
Yeah. I will never shut up about the fact that there were things that I did that made people angry and they blamed you for it, even though I was sitting there like, that was me.
See, Sabina, I see your name is Savage because Star Wars.
Savage Opress.
Savage Opress. And so that's what I see it as. You got a few more seconds. Okay, there it goes. All right. Are we ready to give away a key? If you win, you need to DM me on Discord and I will give it to you later because of buttons. So pick on a winner.
Hey.
Sorvina, you won. So I will hit you up later. I know where to find you. That's congratulations.
Nice.
It's a nice mural, and many thanks to Bolette for sharing that with us. That was very unexpected and very generous and very kind. So, yay! Okay. Lore. Before we do lore, I want to go over we're going to show the chapter 3, I guess, teaser trailer, not the one that they showed after. Because for some reason, the actual trailer that they dropped at chapter 3 launch is copy protected, and I keep getting nasty grams from YouTube. So, yeah, behave, Kason. I'm watching you. Okay. So let's look at this trailer really quick, and then we're going to talk about Carthag. Because Carthag is tying into a lot of things. And let me look at... Here we are.
Chapter 3 is the biggest update to Dune Awakening yet. A rebuilt endgame, new maps, missions, testing stations, and much more. Choose among the great houses and take on Landsrad missions that will further your specialization as a crafter, gatherer, explorer, fighter, or saboteur. 10 new locations are available across the Overland map, each with new challenges. These include 5 new Imperial testing stations with scalable difficulty and rewards.
I hate that one so bad. I hate it so much.
Once you completed these challenges, return to your base and craft augments, a new way to upgrade your Tier 6 gear and progress in the endgame. Dozens of augments are available for weapons and armors. Speaking of weapons, new dual blades provide a unique way to approach melee. The rapier, reborn, turns attack into defense in a single fluid motion. And from afar, the pyrocket smokes out those who think they can hide.
Peons, bondsmen, now familiar, let the battle begin!
The main story of Dune Awakening continues in Chapter 3 with the new storyline. Infiltrate the arena in Neo Carthag and fight in bloody gladiatorial battles. And fight in and descend into the heart.
Oh, we lagging.
It's not every day we get visitors.
What happened?
Chapter 3 also launches for the DLC. This includes a full 74-piece smuggler building set, a 17-piece deck,
I give you
and more.
Yeah, hold on.
Dune Awakening.
It's being possessed. But we've seen it before. Yeah, the video, it told me I disconnected. And then whenever it reconnected me, I started getting the weird echo. I was getting echo on my side. It was being misbehaving. But mostly, Chapter 3 has the arena story and a whole lot of replayable content. So, but with that, because the Chapter 3 story... Am I still echoing? I shouldn't be echoing because that's turned off.
I don't hear an echo now, yeah.
Okay. I was hearing a weird shit. So we're going to talk a little bit about Carthag because Carthag comes up quite a bit. And, excuse me. Before we do that, we're gonna get our highliner out. Haven't had our highliner out for a bit. We're going to talk a little bit about lore. And where Carthag kind of sort of fits. They've left a lot of gaps, obviously, where we have to fill in some pieces and some spots and kind of assume some things. And naturally, an ad's going to start in a minute because why not?
Sure, yeah. Amazing timing.
I know. So we're going to wait a minute for the ads to go, and then we'll do lore. I'm not stalling for time's sake, but that way people who are not subscribed won't miss anything. It kind of sucks, but at least they kind of warned me, and I do apologize for that. The ads are what they are. So,
Not seeing one yet, but
part of my research for the lore was going and listening again to the radio stations. And I don't know if you've listened to them recently, but they've added stuff. And I was dying. I was absolutely dying listening to the Harvester radio station.
I mentioned when we were setting up for the podcast that I hadn't really listened to them, and I got some spicy details that made me go, apparently I need to.
The music, it's like the 80s are calling it. It sounds like a very MIDI synthwave. But at one point you hear this bass line, and then it sounds like someone's screaming, and then bass line, it sounds like someone's screaming. And it's like they've taken, if you were working on a harvester and people banging on stuff and then yelling at each other and like cut it into like dance music. And it was hilarious. It was the best thing. You have to listen to it because you just to hear that part was funny. But they've also got a show that's it's a sitcom about a guy that works for the guild, and him and his wife and his daughter and his mom all live together, and it's their shenanigans. And, and there's some very adult comments in there. There's a show that's kind of like Crossfire that it's set in, here's some lore for you. It's set in Winsack, and it's got essentially the moderator, and it's got a Harkonnen and an Atreides guy talking about how essentially they're each side is trying to sway the guild to work for them, because the guild can't work for both houses, and whichever house has guild support is going to be the one that's meeting the quotas. So how do they, another day, another Solari, exactly. Well, hello there. So but there's some adult jokes in there about him and his wife and Zantara. But in the Crossfire one, it devolves quickly. They start out civilized, and then it devolves very quickly, and essentially it leads to one of them saying, "Let's take this outside." So there's a lot of it's hilarious if you can make it through. Some of the music is bad. I'm like, I was there in the 80s. Don't want to do it again, but
The way you were describing it sounded like this is kind of a deep cut, but I know you know what I'm talking about. In The Expanse, when they're making music from the sounds coming out of the asteroid.
yeah.
Trying to be as vague as possible in case anyone has not seen The Expanse. But
If you haven't
season
seen The
2,
Expanse, you need to watch The Expanse.
leave the podcast right this second. Go watch it.
It is very worth it. The books are amazing, and the books are amazing.
But yeah, that freaky ass music that they were making out of like the screams of the damned coming out of the alien.
The music from Eros.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like just like industrial yelling at people. You burned yourself on something, or you dropped something, and it's just like, but it's up against kind of the synth wave with the beat, and it's just like, what twisted person at FunCon put this together?
I listen to Skinny Puppy, so it's probably just that.
It's hilarious. So radio show, definitely. Are we back? So what you're saying is we're fixing to talk a little bit about I have my notes for Carthag. So the reason that made me think about it is in testing station number 2. Most of us who have been playing a while have not been in testing station 2 for a bit. I went down there when we had a Landsrod contract to go kill a whole bunch of scavengers before the change. And I noticed there was a new radio in testing station 2 that was not there before. And I know it wasn't there before because I have literally, no exaggeration, have run that testing station at least 100 times.
Yeah.
No joke. So yes, there is a new bit of something. Let's try this.
Once the beast has made his selection, return the remaining items to Bijaz at once. Exercise all due caution in the handling of these items, as the bioagents contained within are unstable and may prove extremely hazardous.
Damn, whose voice was that? Shit.
And that is a good question. So that is from testing station 2, and we know that is actually the first time you run into the poison spice.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's made everybody lose their minds and kill each other. Because they got a very small dose. So the audio is saying you return this stuff to Bizaz for the beast. So Raban wants something from that testing station. Does he want the poison spice? Does he know about the poison spice? Raban's not the smartest bulb. Or does Bizaz want the people who have been exposed to the poison spice? And for those of you who don't know, Bizaz is the guy in Harko who you can pay money to essentially change your look. All right, in Talaxu. And so what does he want with whatever's in that testing station? What does Raban want with whatever's in the testing station? And which leads you to Carthag. And the reason I jumped to Carthag from that is, hold on. I want to change my background wallpaper for a specific. Is this one? Hold on. It's being difficult. I want to go to this one. See if I can make it smaller. Ugh!
I believe.
Nah!
Oh, hey,
It's not what I wanted to do.
hey, back up.
I'm trying to get us small again. How do I get this on here? I know. The buttons are a menace.
Up close and personal with
I
Dead
know.
Woman Walking
I
in
know.
D.
Can I not show? No, it's being. Anyway, I can't change the. Maybe we can try it this way. Well, no. Okay. I'll have to show it to you next time. If you have finished chapter 2, or not even finished chapter 2, if you have finished New Carthag, you have seen, or not, no, not New Carthag, if you have finished the last bit of the arc with Centera, you have been in certain spaces that are full of Harkonnen tech. Yes? If you have been in the dark testing station, if you have been in the testing station, the first 2 testing stations for the Lost Harvest DLC, you have seen similar tech in all of those spaces. So it all leads back to Carthag, right? What was going on in Carthag. And if you go to trying to get this, okay. If show it. It's going to be okay. There we go. If you go and listen to the radio, okay. If you're following, I know the buttons are being a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow what Fenring is saying in the story, whenever you meet Fenring the first time, we know that Carthag is the reason why lasguns don't shoot shields, right?
Mm.
It was a lasgun shot versus shield that blew up the city. And
Hilarious, but
we know from Fenring that he knows there's something else, right? We also know from the radio play, the real official story is that it was linked to probably a peon uprising. All right, that's what that story is. The peons are being crushed, right? Terrible things are happening. Morale is super low. They've been taking everything nice has been taken away. They're working double shifts. They're half starved. Life is crap for the peons. You have the smugglers who are angry and upset at the Harkonnens for wiping out a village for daring to ask for help. And those smugglers essentially bring in alcohol. This is all in the radio show, okay? They bring in alcohol to lube up the city, which they're hoping will cause a riot. The Baron brings in a gladiator for a gladiator fight because bread and circuses, that's what one of the characters says, bread and circuses. To distract us from our misery, we're going to bring in this ancient gladiator that used to be big in the day, and now he's not much anymore. He gets assassinated. Everybody's drunk. Everybody's mad. It would be easy for them to kick off a situation that led to a lasgun being used against the shield.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have the 5th part of the story. We have the 4 days of 5 days at Carthag, but we don't have the fifth day. But we also know that it's propaganda.
Yep.
Because we know from the Windsack commentary, Windsack is not a smuggler's town. It's a Dune man town. It's a guild town. And something happened at Windsack that it got half destroyed as well. The Harkonnens and Atreides both blame each other for that destruction. The Harkonnens got hit hard at that fight, and the Harkonnens are itching for some kind of retribution. When Carthag gets blown up, my question is, this is I don't know if it's lore, it's more a whole lot of conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
We know that whatever's on 5 Days of Carthag is bullshit.
Yep.
Because it's the official account.
Yep.
It's easy to blame the smugglers. It's easy to blame the peons. But we also know there was something down below underneath the city that was worth destroying.
Mm-hmm.
We also, the question of who is the sleeper and why are the Talaxu, why do they care? Why are they trying so hard to put this sleeper in with the Fremen? Again, why are the Fremen so important? And it's all these questions of why. And I think it links back partially to who we are and the poison spice that they need to get back to.
Mm-hmm.
Fenring absolutely knows about the poison spice. Peter absolutely knows about the poison spice too. But Fenring absolutely knows about it. He had his fingers in it.
Also, let's be honest, there's very little that he doesn't know about.
Oh yeah. He absolutely knows where the poison spice came from. I think he's more concerned about how much of it got loose.
Mm-hmm.
Because it wasn't supposed to get loose. But here, okay, so someone, hold on, let me close this. Here's the thing I question about if they can create the Lisan al Gaib. Okay, they had already been planning the Lisan al Gaib for a while. And even if that mythos never comes to pass, we know that the Bene Gesserit conditioning, we see it in the movie where Chani's like, you guys keep believing this lie that we can't save ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
That we have to wait for the Bene Gesserit essentially to come and save us. So Agent X is supposed to be the Lisan al Gaib, right? Stilgar's supposed to believe he's Lisan al Gaib. I have this vague feeling from the movie that Stilgar brought a lot of strays home. Because there's a lot of eye rolling every time he comes in. You're like, oh God, it's him again. With another. But Agent X cannot be the Lisan al Gaib because according to the prophecy that they set up, he has to arrive with his Bene Gesserit mother. There is no Bene Gesserit mother. So that one alone is going to block him from being the chosen one, right? So, but that doesn't, it's not going to stop a fanatic. A fanatic's going to see what he wants to see. Hold on. Someone's made a comment. The Fremen only took the great houses as the Spacing Guild were held hostage, so they won't be doing much on Arrakis. Yeah, there's the idea behind the fake spice was essentially to loosen the grip of the guild, the extreme financial manipulation that the guild could get away with, because it was that or you don't go anywhere. However, it didn't work. In the books, several Highliners were lost. Navigators died because it didn't work. So that did not work out. So that was, Shaddam has a lot of skeletons in his closet. Let's put it that way. Especially, I think, where we are concerned. But I'm not going to spoil that. But the question keeps coming back to the technology under Carthag. What did the Harkonnens know about what the Talaxu were doing? And this comes back to the voice thing in the testing station too. The beast wants to know. He wants what's in that lab. Why? And I think that some people have said that the story for chapter 3 is very short. And I've heard that from several people, especially after chapter 1 and 2 was so long. I haven't run chapter 3 yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
But
can't contribute a whole lot. But
what was that?
I can't contribute a whole lot to this conversation, but
No, it's okay. But the question becomes why uh, we keep coming back to Carthag. What was there? So we've looked at the all of those locations have that same technology. Excuse me. The Dark Station, the two from the Lost Harvest, and what is it we know? What does Fenring know? And I don't think we can really trust any narrator because we know if Ari thinks she knows lots of stuff. She's a kid; she doesn't know squat. She makes a comment about early on about how Arrakis is not very important in the scale of things. It's like it's the most important planet in the scale of things.
hmm
She also thinks that Fenring just stands around and mumbles and is boring and is incompetent. It's like your mother has failed you by not instilling into you just how dangerous he is. And
hmm
but that would imply that how dangerous Margot is. And we can't have Ari being suspect to what is actually going on and her part in things. Fenring knows. I kind of wonder what samples the face dancer wants. I got the Talaxu. We will have to see. So okay, in but I think all of the stuff in the radio show is strictly propaganda. We have oh gosh, the Harkonnens are oppressing the peons, given that even though it's on the Harvester radio, is put on by the Arakeen Playhouse. Then we have there's some low key racism towards the Fremen. At one point in the another day
What?
of the Solari,
No. Racism
another day
towards
into the
Fremen?
Solari thing, the girl wants to go to a party with she says someone of a Sietch persuasion, and the dad's like, "Oh, you mean a half breed?" And it's like that's really horrible to say. And she's like,
Yeah.
they prefer city Fremen. Um, in the 5 Days from Carthag, one of the main characters goes on about how all these problems we have are because Santera keeps blowing stuff up, and his mother was like, don't say that about Fremen. They assume he's Fremen, and of course, your father was Fremen on his mother's side. I was like, um, the
I love
idea that
the idea of fucking Fremen blood quantum happening is just like, oh yikes.
is he a card carrying Fremen or not?
Yikes.
I know that's terrible to say,
No.
but that's kind of the vibe I was getting.
hmm
But he probably says, that's all crap. They're everyone knows they're cannibals,
Oh,
and his mother points out that they don't eat people. It's well known that they reclaim bodies for the water.
yeah, they don't eat people, they just drink them.
They just drink them. There's no body jerky in the bottom of the still. I need to do that radio ad for some death still beef jerky still. It's on my list of shit to do. But one of the things that kind of interested me is in this universe, Fayed is very, very popular. All the girls are flinging themselves at Fayed, which I totally get.
I mean, you've seen the reaction to the movie version of him.
Oh
There were
God,
also girls flinging themselves at that version too, so
yeah.
that tracks.
I watched part of a stream with Sorvina, who was towards the end of chapter 3, so I'm a little spoiled. But the idea that the charming, charismatic stranger, he's a psychopath. Don't get me wrong, but he's well written.
I'm the last person to judge, baby. You've heard me earlier in said podcast, me pointing at the giant worm man and being like, "That's the guy for me." I just find him interesting.
He's very charismatic. Now, in his defense, he's made this way.
Yeah.
For those who are not familiar with lore, so the Baron had Raban, had taken Raban from his father, Raban, the Baron's brother, and he was a teen, I think. But we all know Raban's not the smartest bulb. He's kind of stupid and prone to temper tantrums.
Mhm.
And the Baron realized very quickly that this was not going to be a worthy heir to the Harkonnen situation. This was a problem. And he blamed his brother for messing up Raban. So when the Baron's brother and wife had another child, the Baron sweeps in and takes the kid away. And it was like just starting to walk. And essentially has him raised by Mentats to not be stupid. So part of his socio behavior, I think, his sociopathy is being raised by Mentat to the Baron's whims.
Specifications, yeah.
Yeah, someone without conscience, but also capable of navigating a complicated political situation, which Raban could not find his way out of a wet paper bag if politics demanded him to do so.
Yeah.
And if he can't punch it, Raban's kind of useless. So the idea that Fayed was created essentially to be Fayed and to be someone who could be cold enough to inherit after the Baron died. And that scene in the movie at the arena, what would Fayed do if he really could die? And the idea that his uncle would set him up to die. They're both really good with it. They did that in kind of the 1984 movie with the attempted assassination with the Baron. And I'm seeing this kind of connection. It reminds me a little bit of Star Wars, where there's always two: the one to have power and one to crave it. And I think if Fayed was to somehow bump off his uncle would be like, "Death sucks, but good for you." That's. I can see there being that kind of nod from the Baron if Fayed was able to pull it off, because that's who he was raised to be. And he is extremely charming, and he can't seem to understand why Ari won't give him the time of day. And it's like, you did things, dude. You are a sociopath, right? You would. If it amused you, you would do horrible things and not bat an eye. At the same time, Ari is very innocent, shockingly so for someone in her position. And I think this Jessica versus the book Jessica, this is the Jessica that people Bene Gesserit should be a certain way. Jessica was a terrible Bene Gesserit. She was absolutely terrible. She was bred for one thing, and that was to be an incubator. She was created to be a concubine. That's it. And she was not created to be a truthsayer. She was not created to be a reverend mother. She was created to be an incubator. That was it.
And arguably, she didn't even get that right in the books.
And
bless her. I love Jessica to pieces. Love her as a character, but it's just funny that she was created to do one thing and one thing only, and she
didn't do that right.
She beefed it.
She's terrible at following orders. She was not obedient to the order. And so people were complaining in the movie when she threw up in the desert, because Bene Gesserit should have ultimate control over the body. It's like, okay, she's not a good Bene Gesserit, for starters. Second of all, she is pregnant and everyone falls. But
You try being like in your third trimester walking through like the most inhospitable desert in the earth and see if you don't puke a little bit. Sorry, that's just
Yeah, I was gonna say, having been pregnant in the summer, it's not nice. It's not, and it's just the stress of in the last 48 hours, everyone you think you know is dead in a horrible fashion, and so it's a little stressful. Um, but the game, Jessica, I think is closer to the Bene Gesserit ideal,
Mhm.
and she and Margot are like that. And Margot and Fenring have plans within plans that I think even the Bene Gesserit don't know about.
Mhm.
And that's another thing. She was getting a lot more spice than what she was expecting. And the people were talking about she should have known about what drinking the water of life would do. No, she wasn't trained to be a Reverend Mother. And Reverend Mothers are not childbearing women. These are postmenopausal women for obvious reasons,
Mhm.
and would be selected for their temperament and leadership abilities and adherence to the rules, which Jessica was not good at. So she would not have known about what would happen if you drink the water of life when you shouldn't. That was
Mhm.
not, that wouldn't be a broad part of her training because it was supposed to be secret. It was supposed to be, even in the order, the idea that you you have to earn a certain level to be in the inner circle. And partially because every culture has its own initiation, so many of those were impacted by the Bene Gesserit. And there's you plant seeds, but they're going to grow around in their own unique way. And even Chani makes the comment about the southern versus northern differences in the Fremen. I mean, the southern ones were going to be a lot more, I guess, orthodox.
Mhm.
I guess, for lack of a better word, excuse me, than the northern ones. So I mean, but they're not gonna. She's not a know everything. She can barely handle herself. She's not a great Bene Gesserit. She's not a good example of Bene Gesserit. And I think there's also this misconception that the Bene Gesserit were these all powerful, all knowing people who didn't make mistakes, and they absolutely do make mistakes. They have a bad habit of thinking they know everything, but they don't.
That's also by design that they want everyone to believe that they're these infallible, all-powerful people who don't make mistakes, so
Oh yeah, it keeps them in a specific point of power.
Mhm.
If you watched the TV show Prophecy, there was this idea that people outside did not know of the breeding program. People
Mhm.
outside did not know their goals and their inner secrets of how much all of the advice that they were giving out was all coordinated, and how long it would take to build trust with people in power, because you don't
Mhm.
want them thinking that you're telling them what to do. They're looking for actionable feedback, not directions. So how to give them directions without giving them directions. It was a whole big thing that they spent the last 10,000 years working on, but no one outside knew about the breeding program. Ari, and it's funny, Ari just kind of blows off her knowledge of it and the technology involved in it as well. We're special, we get to do it.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know, you just disappeared, but yeah.
You talk all immersed and then suddenly got a "You've been disconnected from the host" message and kicked out, so
I didn't judge it, but
where
maybe it's the
did it
universe
go?
saying we've been talking for 2 hours. That's, you did.
House
I was
there's
like,
an
did
ad
I
break here.
win? um
No, I don't know what happened. We're good.
okay, the world happened, I don't know.
Yeah. My bad, guys.
um Let me see this comment. The Bene Gesserit must have known that Jessica would not follow orders, laying the foundation of a religion of a society would take hundreds of years. But see, Jessica wasn't supposed to end up on Arrakis. That was the thing. Them going to Arrakis when she got with Leto was not planned. They have many. It's kind of like Palpatine. Many plans that are in action, but not reliant on one.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that they had more than one possible Kwisatz Haderach. They weren't relying on just one. We had a lot of potentials. And if that potential didn't work out, well, we'll breed that potential with another and see what happens. There was always this contingency. So, it was never just this one. It wasn't just Jessica will have a daughter and that daughter will marry someone from the Harkonnen house. First cousins are creepy. And all of our problems will be solved. So, and Jessica, again, was not overly, she would do what she was told, but she was not in the inner planning ring of these things. So she didn't know she was a Harkonnen until later. So, and then in the whole kind of first cousin thing. This is...
I have been watching so much fucking Game of Thrones stuff that you're being like, ew, first cousins. I'm like, they're only first cousins. It's fine. I'm just like, oh, wait. No, I gotta check out a Game of Thrones mode. That's not normal.
Once in a family is not bad. 15 times a generation is bad. That's how you get the Habsburgs.
When it becomes a wreath rather than a tree, then...
Yeah, this is when you start getting the jaw thing going on. And it's a problem. It's a big problem. Yeah, I was going to say the Habsburgs, all of them, serious, uncle, niece, husband, wife thing. It's just like, no. And they must have been really convinced that they were close to finding this Kwisatz Haderach. But I'm also boggled at how they thought one marriage was going to end 10,000 years of two families hating each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they've been stabbing at each other literally in recorded history, 10,000 years since the Butlerian Jihad. They have hated each other. They have undercut each other. They have betrayed each other. They have killed each other. One wedding is not going to stop that. There was Leto was supposed to be married at one point, and that didn't work out.
It's also like I know they haven't like fully written down every single scrap of history, but surely there had to have been cross-family marriages or like Romeo and Juliet forbidden relationships and stuff like that, and it didn't change anything. Come on, man.
No. There would have been attempts over those 10,000 years to get them to stop killing each other and wiping out potential genetics. Yeah. But never underestimate a grudge.
Correct. And like I said, that there had to be at least a few, like Romeo and Juliet, two people from opposite houses meeting and running away together. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. So, but one more marriage apparently is supposed to be the magic one.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow their child will be the one. And, expect Ari. And I think what really is also funny to me is, so we're going to move to Arrakis, you're going to take over, and then the Harkonnen attack and destroy half of Arrakeen. And the Harkonnens are over here with slaves and slave pits. And I'm totally going to give my daughter to them to breed. I'm just not feeling it. And that's another thing I was going to mention. If you've been in any of the wrecks in Hugga Basin, whose wrecks are those?
I'll be so real with you. I did not pay attention.
Which faction owns those wrecks? You didn't listen to this. They are Atreides.
Embarrassing myself in front of your viewers, but yeah.
No, it's okay.
Pay that much
they are Atreides. So back to, they might be the good guys, but they are losers. They are losing. How many years has it been since the Battle of Arakeen? It's been like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
What does Arakeen look like?
Looks great.
It's awesome. New Carthag is being built. And New Carthag did not get blown up in the war. It got blown up by a nuke. When you look at who is winning the conflict, it's not the Atreides.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Harkonnens. They are winning. As
But they do get a little bit into that in the faction storylines, though, that like the Atreides were not really for this brand of warfare. They're not built for it, you know.
No. There's an NPC in the Arakeen bar, and she points it out too. She's like, who has the money? It's not Atreides. Who's rebuilding? It's not Atreides. Who has their shit wrecked all over the basin? It's Atreides. And that leads to all of the defectors all over the rift, where they have reached the point where they have said no more. This is a war, a 10,000 year war. My life or death means fuck all. I quit. The Red Scorpion was Atreides,
Mm-hmm.
and mad because he didn't have upward nobility. This war means nothing to anybody except for people moving stuff on a chessboard. And currently, the Harkonnens are winning. And so it links back to what's going to happen with Carthag, what's going on under Carthag. If you've finished that part of the story, you've seen what's under Carthag, and you know what's in all of these things linked together. For forbidden technology, this shit's all over the place. It's very creepy. It's very, very creepy. Anywho, it's all the red dude's fault. I don't miss him. There's another guy who's not unemployed. The quartermaster's unemployed now, too. What's he going to do? We should have him drunk and staggering around in the bar downstairs in Arakeen. I used to be important. And all this is still back to, who is the sleeper? Because we know it's not us. Why does he need to be awoken? What is it the not Bene Gesserit want with the spice and the Fremen? Where do they fit in here?
Who did we get scraped off
that
of?
the Fremen,
Who did we get scraped off of?
I have my theories. But there's a misconception that the Fremen are a bunch of primitive savages. And it's like, no, they have tech. They just don't want to share. They don't have the same. This is why they won't be the third faction. They don't care what the rest of the Imperium does. They could give two shits less. They don't need the spice to exist. They had their own prescience before they even came to Arrakis. They have their own tech that they've carted around with them for the last 10,000 years. They just want to be left the fuck alone. They they do not care about the Landsrod. They don't care about the Imperium. They just want to be left alone. So I don't understand what the Talaxu or anybody wants from them at this point. He did not trade it. He was ordered. The Duke was ordered to go to Arrakis. That was the thing where the Baron did not have to go. He sent Raban in his place. The Duke was ordered to up and move everything from Caladan to Arrakis. He did not. He had to go. He did not have a chance. It was not something he had a choice in. This is where I keep going back to the third faction should be like smugglers or the guild.
Yeah.
Because again, the guild is what we have in Windsack, and that radio show sets them up as a balance between, and the Atreides and the Harkonnen are wanting the guild to work with them, and they're outside of the Landsrod. So the guild or smugglers are going to be that tipper
Mm-hmm.
if they incorporate that. It won't be a playable faction. It won't be another house. It won't be the Fremen, because the Fremen really could not give a shit to less. But I think it's going to be if they do it, it'll be one of those.
Because someone asked if we're still getting the third faction, I think it's still planned. However, uh, they have had to spend so many resources trying to fix the end game in the Landsred that I think a lot of their plans that they wanted to do like quickly after launch
Yeah,
got kicked down the road pretty far. I think it's all still planned. I think
yeah.
they just had to put all of their plans on pause to fix the end game stuff. Otherwise, they wouldn't have any players left playing when the third faction came out.
The Landsrod needed fixed.
Yeah.
Once the Landsrod is fixed, and I think when they get the PvP end game fixed ish as much as they can, then they can come back and start working on the quality of life stuff. Like the problem that we're having with the Landsrod is there is no balance, and that's not something that the devs can fix, because people have this perception there's a heavy skewing towards Atreides, and there's nothing the devs can do about that.
You can't
Outside of
force
what they've been
people.
doing is with the buffs on the board. But I think the layoffs have slowed things down because their team is smaller. Sorry, the team is smaller than what they had set the plan out with.
Hmm.
Uh, so they're spending a lot of time playing catch up. A lot of bugs that weren't in the PTC, like the faction bug, are big and need fixed. So they're having to really shuffle resources in a way, and it kind of bumping future plans down. Iggy had said they might revisit the timeline for the roadmap, which to me, again, speculation, means that they're instead of going every 3 months, that might go every 4 months, which would be fine. Every 3 months is a heavy pace, and so
That's
Hmm?
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
The for example, an MMO I play is Final Fantasy 14.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have an every 3 months content release schedule, and had to, for this most recent expansion, also switch to a 4 month. And it does feel significantly slower, but I also think that it has allowed them to make the content updates a little bit more quality as a result, instead of the breakneck pace that they were going at for a long time.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it's speculation on my part. Now, I don't think bug reports, I don't think bug fixes will be stalled,
Yes.
but by being able to focus on bug fixes and setting this other thing a little longer, that lets their team balance a little better instead of everybody. Because if you were in the PTC, you saw them doing updates on Sundays. These guys are Europeans. They're working on Saturdays and Sundays, and they're dropping patches and stuff
Hmm.
on the weekends, which is pretty crazy. And no one can keep that pace. And then the players get all pissy when they take a vacation. It's like they just worked 80 hours a week for 6 months. They're allowed a vacation.
Oh, that did make me so mad when people were getting pissed off at them taking a holiday break.
Yeah, how dare they? It's like, okay, the Americans in the room, raise your hand. People, the rest of the world insists that you take some time off.
Hmm.
Because burnout is real.
Hmm.
And I don't know, like I said, it's speculation on my part. The way he worded it, I read as they might be stretching the roadmap out to make it more manageable. People complain about, I found it funny, people are like, they're going to delay it again. What have they delayed? Everything has been in the time frame that they've offered. I think the only thing that they said they held back on was the best backup tool. They bumped that 2 weeks,
Hmm.
but really but then delayed again. There's a 3 month window for a reason. So give them some wiggle room, and just let them slow down a little bit, because they've got a lot of bugs to fix. And I find it amusing. I'm not a programmer, I'm not a coder, but all the howling of they didn't do it right the first time. I always want to say, this is your first time playing with any software of any kind. ever because software breaks. Every software breaks. This is new software, and it's on an engine that shit breaks. Is it fun? Is it nice? No. When everything went down the other day, I know Mila said that, she was out in the deep desert. I was flying around Naga Basin. I was like, well, there went our gear. It's see in this smaller updates. Actual expansions need. The problem is what is an expansion and what are the DLCs? The DLCs are on because they're on Steam have to be done when they're scheduled. Otherwise, Steam gets pissy. But the expansions, I would rather it work. And with the PvP one coming, the balancing one, you can't balance PvP, but trying to work in all of the new augment systems so that players who have been playing since launch and therefore have the augment systems will not automatically swoosh the new player who shows up and goes, I'd like to PvP too. So there's a whole lot of mechanics that need to be sorted before I wouldn't even have a clue how you would even do that and make it. I don't even say balanced fair-ish. Is that even a concept? I don't even know. I don't even know what you would do. Anywho, I guess we should wrap up. I've been babbling. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry I've been quiet.
No. Next time, I'm hoping to have run the first little bit of chapter 3. I've been stalling. Life has been kind of so I haven't done diddly. But
Yeah. I'm hoping to be caught up so I can actually like take part in story conversations next time. But
it's all right. Like I said, I'm trying to avoid spoilers because I kind of know where you are, and I have not run chapter 3 as well. So, except I watched Sorbina play some, so I know some bits from the inside, and yeah, Fayed would
we all got
it.
our we all got our problematic phase, man.
Would absolutely regret it, but you'd sit back when you're old, going, yeah. if you live that long. Okay. I guess this is a good point to wrap up. Thanks everybody for coming. For any new people, you can catch us on the Discord. !Discord will show you where we are. No obligation to do anything. We just hang out and be nerdy. We do a lot of nerd talk. Yeah. Was there anything else I needed to we don't bite much. We always ask consent. That's the thing. We might bite a lot, but we always ask consent. Consent always matters. Was there anything else I needed to
plug your links again at the end of the program?
Plug my links again. I am the worst about that. Where is my? I had them on a Post-it note. Where's my Post-it note? So we got the Discord. ! Merch will take you to my merch. Literally, I had all that stuff right here. Where, Jesus, did it go? ! June if you want to buy the game and haven't bought it yet. Then, I do have a throne because Paolo strong-armed me. The ! Throne will take you to the throne page. I literally had there was a Post-it note. It's under some papers. There we go. Yeah. Discord, merch, throne, Dune. Yep. You got it all. Okay. Don't make fun of my very German handwriting. Anyway, I think that's everything. Many thanks to everybody who stopped by. Thank you again so much, Bolette, for the code. Congratulations to Sorbina. We'll get that to you in a little bit. And we will catch everybody. Thank you again, Dee, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Dee was going to back out on me. But
next time, like I said, I'll be caught up on story, so I won't be quite a lurker at the tail end of I feel bad that I was quiet for like a third of the podcast. But
oh no, I felt like I was talking over you. Don't let me do that.
No.
Okay. So now we're leaving, and we'll see everybody out there on the dunes. If
See
I
you
can find
next
the right buttons.
time.
Bye bye.